Hello. Are you a retailer or distributor for a large company and selling their brands? Are you fed up receiving unordered material from them? Do you often scramble to find cash to pay for these unwanted stocks? Or do you feel overwhelmed thinking of how to dispose of these unwanted stocks? And do you feel frustration when you make losses selling them off below cost? If the answer is yes to any or all of these questions, you probably don't know how to negotiate at all. And you have surrendered yourself to the arm twisting techniques of these principal companies. Ask yourself the question: do you really want to break free from this situation and have the upper hand? And if your answer is yes, again, you have come to the right place today, as I am going to reveal to you the solutions which will resolve your worries permanently. Hello, my name is Kalol Chaudhary, and I have spent more than 30 years in companies which sold to retailers and distributors. I have witnessed companies forcing stocks to them just to achieve primary sales targets, and I've also seen firsthand the anguish, the pain of these hapless retailers and distributors like you. Friends, I am on a mission to empower small business owners and entrepreneurs and enable them to live a life of freedom by assisting them to transform their businesses and achieve sustainable growth and scalability. Today, I will share with you from my experiences and learnings over the years 12 principles that you must follow to win the game of negotiations and never be at the receiving end of a bad business deal. The starting point for any business is a business plan document. This document is one where you should list out your product category wise, month wise, sales plan, marketing and promotion plan, investments, people plan, cash flow, profit and loss statements, etc. etc. A business plan has 4 objectives. 1. It provides you with a goal for the period and gives you a sense of purpose and direction. Second, it acts as a reference point, just like the base or a ship's rudder, for you to steer your business with perspective. 3. It provides you a measure of your success and how much effort of resources you've had to commit in relation to the business output. Lastly, the business plan document helps you get funds from investors or your bankers. You may argue that you have a plan. However, have you documented this plan, or is it just in your head? Most small businesses, I have come across at least, never had a documented plan. They got their CA or chartered accountant to chalk out a document hurriedly only for the banks and when they required more funds. But they never used it to guide their business operations or use it for any kind of negotiation. For business negotiations, the business plan guides you in tangible terms and tells you the extent to which the outcome of the negotiation is going to affect your business goals so that you can plan to course correct well in time and before it is too late. Next, you must draw up an annual purchase agreement with the principal in writing. Get the agreement signed off necessarily. The agreement should reflect the month-wise, product-wise targets as closely as possible. Also, it must indicate incentives that the company will pay you for any additional achievement. Remember that agreements are always quid pro quo, and in my experience, if a company really thinks that you can meet their targets, they'll always come back with a proposal. They'll usually believe you if you ask for incentives for additional targets, especially if you have a track record of doing so. Next, be realistic on what you can achieve and don't overcome it. If required, you may agree to a stretch plan that is adequately supported by additional incentives in writing. I've seen people go bankrupt and out of business because they overcommitted, they purchased huge stocks and borrowed money and couldn't sell them off normally and incurred great losses making clearance sales. Next, and this is very important, draw up a cash flow plan to support your business plan. Don't take risks with cash. Prepare for the worst case scenario for cash flow that supports your business plan. Keep your commitments in the same manner that you expect the principal to keep theirs. You'll find it interesting that 29% of businesses worldwide shut shop because they run out of cash. See, every company has a marketing plan for the year as a part of their business plan. Ask for the company to share it with you. Good companies have business ethics and they should not have any issues in sharing their marketing plan. The plan may be a tentative one. They may need to amend it with time based on market realities. Nevertheless, it will definitely act as a reference for your own business plans. So, ask for it. Next, you must also thrash out a specific marketing support for your business and how the support monies will be disbursed to you. Include it as a part of the annual agreement, which I discussed earlier. How the support will be disbursed to you is actually very important because it will impact your cash flow. In today's age, digital marketing support can be provided at a minimal cost. So, companies should not have much of an issue and you must insist that they provide you the same, as increasingly more and more buyers are getting influenced these days after watching online content. Also, learn to say no. Don't be afraid to say no to your principals. You won't offend them by saying no. Companies need good business partners as much as you need them or their brands. While you show positive intent during any purchase negotiations, you must know where to draw the line. As long as the person at the other end sees that you have demonstrated objectivity from your end, 9 out of 10 times they will respect your decision when you decline additional targets or terms imposed on you. You must therefore be ready to walk away from a potentially risky or bad deal and demonstrate it politely right at the outset. The next thing that happens usually is that the principal dumps stock, which makes a forced sale to you without your permission. The big brands and the PSU fuel companies are particularly notorious for this. In such a case, you should not accept it and send it back forthwith, no matter what. Don't be scared of that. Usually, the principal will lure you with lucrative terms on sale or additional credit when they make such a sale to you. But do not accept any allurement unless your cash situation supports such a purchase. As an exception, however, you may consider accepting the additional products dumped on you only after you have satisfied yourself that your downstream channel and your customers will readily accept these additional products, and most importantly, your cash flow projections will not be negatively impacted. I recently had come across a distributor for a petroleum company who was running around in vain from pillar to post, scouting everywhere for a source of extra cash and at low interest rates, just to pay the company for the additional gas cylinders that the company had forced him to accept. Next, if you are a trader or a retailer, it is prudent to follow a 3-brand strategy for any product that you sell. This will increase your bargaining power substantially. This also prevents ruthless salesperson of the principal companies from appointing additional channel partners in your area of business. They'll be wary of that. If you are an exclusive channel partner, for example, a franchisee, you may not be in a position to follow this strategy. It may therefore make sense for you to have a different line of business in a different name, if possible, depending, of course, on the depth of your pockets. The extent that you rely on the second stream of income will purely depend on the level of comfort you have or your profitability in the first line of business. But then, this gives you bargaining power if you are an exclusive dealer. In case of bad headwinds or a slump in the entire business environment in any period, like what happened during the COVID time, don't be shy of approaching the principal and renegotiating your business plan and terms and conditions. Companies should not have any problem renegotiating with you and giving you an alternative plan which suits you both. Don't tell yourself, "Kaise jayega company? How will I go to the company?" Companies actually need you. You should remember that. Next, always have a fallback or contingency plan should something go wrong. A plan B is very important for business strategy. During my career, I've seen many businesses go bankrupt just because they did not have an alternative business plan to tide over a difficult period. I'll ask you a question now. How many of you have taken on additional targets for a period based on incentives committed by a company's salesperson and then found out later that the accounts team would not credit the amount to you? Has it happened? I have seen many, including top dealers and distributors in India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Latin America, etc., who have been victims like this. Therefore, I make 2 points here. 1. Always deal with an empowered person from the company. In case you feel he is not empowered to take decisions, ask to see a person who is empowered and only then negotiate with the authorized and empowered person. Otherwise, the deal has no meaning at all. 2. Always ask for commitments in writing, signed off by an authorized signatory before you act. I have seen many, and there are many salespersons who overcommit on their promises just to sell you something extra. Therefore, a proper written document is always handy. Remember that good brands and good companies want trustworthy channel partners who are going to be with them for the long haul. So, play that part to the T. To summarize, to negotiate effectively with your principals, you must 1. Prepare and reference your business plan document for the negotiation. During the negotiation, draw up an annual purchase agreement with them. 3. Be realistic and never overcommit what you can deliver. 4. Prepare a cash flow plan that supports your business plan. This will help your negotiations. You will understand the limits to which you can go. 5. Demand the company's marketing plan. 6. Request specific marketing support for you and how it will be disbursed to you. Say no to risky or bad deals. Resist unordered stocks. Send them back. Follow a 3-brand strategy and try to avoid exclusivity. Renegotiate in adverse business environments. Have a contingency plan B. It helps you survive. Negotiate only with empowered executives and accept deals in writing. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you would like to hear more from me on a range of business topics with similar videos, please like my video and press on the bell button below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please also join my Facebook group and watch my video Welcome to Business Transformation, which provides you an overview of my channel. Also, please leave your comments below. I promise you more such practical and informative content in the future. Thank you.